Alright, so I've been trying to learn new things every single week. This week is no exception, and this week I'm going to be learning more about cameras, camera techniques such as ISO, aperture, and shutter speed. So those things, today I'm going to be trying to work on shutter speed. Specifically, this is day one out of the whole entire week. I'll try to lay things out. I'm not exactly sure the format or anything. I don't know anything about cameras, and I want to know about it a lot more, especially with this Canon M50 that I have right now. A lot of this will be shot on the GoPro, possibly, or my phone, because those are just the other two cameras that I have. Hopefully you guys can learn something as well, because this is a learning process, and I'm going to try to teach you guys along the way at the same time that I'm doing it. Okay, so let's start this challenge. Okay, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm just searching up Canon M50 shutter speed and just looking up tutorials here. There's a bunch of them, and I'm just going to pretty much be binging them and trying to learn some things and having my camera on my side, and hopefully everything will turn out well. Alright, so these photos that you're looking at right now, it's just a test. I was just testing out the settings that I was just working out with, and right now this fan right here, as you can see, the really bright one is just when the shutter speed is really high, and I tried to get the motion to stop and make sure it was in focus. So that's what I was just playing around with the shutter speed there. So welcome back to day 2 of me learning photography. So right now I'm just going to be learning more about shutter speed, aperture, and ISO. I found the tutorial by Peter McKinnon. It's less than 10 minutes long, so hopefully I can do that and then shoot some shots in my backyard with this camera, and hopefully it'll turn out alright. But basically I'm just learning the basics, and so far day 1 my learning curve was skyrocketed, and hopefully it's gonna start plateauing a little bit more, but with those skills I can just experiment more and see what works best for me. Alright, so this picture that you guys are seeing on screen right now is of my dog. He currently is eating some food that I threw to him, and I maxed out the shutter speed, I believe so. Then you also have to turn up your ISO, because that definitely does help, and it brings up light in your image, and I cranked it up all the way, I believe to auto actually, but it also adds some noise in the background, some image noise, and it adds some grain to it, so you have to sacrifice a little bit of that. But some other pictures that I have is some water dripping here, and I did get to catch it in focus, which is really nice. Okay guys, so I've been trying to play around with the shutter speed. So what I learned is that if you set it 1/60, that's basically what it is. That's pretty slow, and it lets in a lot of light, and it looks really bright. I'll show it on screen right now, the 1/60 one. Then I progressively went up, so 1/60, and then went up to 1/2000, 4000, something like that. And basically I shot it of the fan up there, that moving fan, and basically what that did is it slowed it down and made it look like it was a still frame. Once you have the shutter speed all the way up, it makes it look like it's just a still frame, but it gets blurry once you turn that down, because the lens opens and closes really fast. That makes it appear to be a little bit more blurry if it's 1/60, for example, like you saw before. But that's basically what I learned first of all, and now I'm going to be learning more about aperture and ISO. Alrighty, so it is officially day 3 of this whole entire thing. The only thing is right now I'm learning about aperture, and I'm learning it from a Think Media tutorial. So aperture is basically when the camera lets light open. So the camera that I'm using right now, the Canon M50, it has a aperture or f-stop of 3.5, so that's how much light is let in. The good cameras have 1.8 or something. I think everything is good. I'm pretty much in focus, and the only thing in focus because there's a face tracker on the camera right now. That's what I'm learning today. Nothing too much. It was raining before out there, and that's why I'm probably not going to shoot any photos like I did yesterday, outside, at least for now. Maybe later on I'll see about that, but that's all for now guys, and I'll see you later.
2 hours later.
Alright guys, so those pictures you just saw that I took, those are the pictures that I was just taking around my house. It was actually raining before, so I wasn't able to get pictures outside, and my dog currently is right under there, under my desk, as you can see. Look at him. Jack, yeah, his tongue is out, but basically those pictures were pretty decent. I was trying to get some of these cubes here by using the lighting here. The ISO is turned up, cranked up pretty high right now, so that's why it's kind of hard to see these. I learned about aperture too. I always kept the aperture at my 3.5 because that's the lowest it can be at, the f-stops at least. And then for the shutter speed, I'm doing it right now at 1/50 because I'm shooting at 24 frames a second, so that's what I'm doing. And the motion on here should be pretty natural, and same with everything else. I'm just really conscious about that, and tomorrow I'm going to be trying to learn about white balance and all that. So Peter McKinnon made a video about that, photography basics, his second one, so that's what I'm going to be doing. But yeah, that's what I learned pretty much today. Day 3, day 4 tomorrow. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Alright, welcome back to day 4. I'm currently outside right now. It is very hot. I believe it's around 95 degrees right now, so I only have a couple minutes to get some shots of like this wilderness back here. I'm gonna try to compile it into 3 of them. I actually didn't work on like the white balance. I'm gonna be learning about that later on, but this is what I'm gonna be doing right now, just capturing some of the trees and leaves and all that. I'm gonna try to adjust ISO, aperture, and shutter speed, all of those things, but right now I'm just walking through trying to find a good spot, trying to get some good pictures on here. I'm gonna be using the manual mode, but yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing, guys. There is a bug on the camera right now. Oh, it just went off. All right, so I got a couple of shots there, so I'm just doing the autofocus right now on the camera. It's not any manual things. I'm here with Jack, he's right there, but basically the nice shots that I got of Jack. So one of them, I'll put it on screen right now. One of them I had too much shutter speed, and it was like 1 over, like, I don't even know, it was like really high. It was like 200. When you crank it down, it gives that more cinematic look, and my camera battery is running really low on there. It says it's blinking red, so I'm gonna have to change the battery soon. But I got 3 good ones today. It's really windy, so I don't know if you can hear me. The audio, my like dead cat is moving all over the place. I guess it's a good test of the Rode Video Micro. But yeah, my camera is about to... Okay, so here's an update. I just got back inside. My camera battery ran out. I don't know if you guys could hear that. Yeah, I had to pick up my dog's poop, doo-doo. Yeah, and I'm just going to be learning about white balance now, and hopefully I can implement them. But right now, I think the quality is pretty good of these images already. It was just my first time taking pictures outside, so I didn't know what to expect. I had to adjust all the settings to the outside things, but I mainly used some of the auto features for ISO, especially because I didn't really know what would work. I just had to move the slider up and down to see what worked for me. It was really easy to do all the settings, honestly. Yeah, nothing much to worry about. So if you're trying to do this yourself, then it is pretty easy and not extremely hard. So right now, I'm just going to be editing a video and looking into white balance too, and seeing if I can implement that into my photography. Okay, so it is currently day 5, and a big part about photography is obviously editing the photos, so that's what I'm going to be trying to do today. So right there I have my dog, and he is just in the sun. I'm going to be trying to edit that and see how it looks. I'll try to walk through the process of me doing it. I'm using Pixlr E. I'll leave a link in the description down below where you can find that. That's the editor that I'm using. And hopefully I can just tune it up a little bit, make it a little bit more appealing, and show you guys afterwards, and I might post it on Instagram also. Okay, so what I've done with this picture right now is I'm just going to try and crop it out a little bit, and I'm going to try to add a little more perks to it, and I'll show you a time lapse of that right now. Alright, so what I have so far is this. I realized that you can't actually like do any of the other special effects, like brightening it up, maybe doing like a vinaigrette or something like that. You can't do that, so I'm gonna have to do it in Pixlr X, so I'm gonna be switching over to that right now. So that's the good thing about it, because Pixlr has the 2 different types, E and X. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I'll put it on screen right now. So it looks a lot better. Pixlr X really did help. I tried to make the image as vibrant as possible with a more blurry background, as well as having the picture still stand out and having a lot of detail. I have 2 other pictures that I want to do. I'll put it on screen right now. This one and then this one. So the second image I decided to do was this dice that I took on my carpet floors. I'm going to be editing that. Hopefully I can sharpen it up. I'm hoping I can brighten it up a little bit also. So the way I'm doing these things is I always start with Pixlr E first, and then I go to Pixlr X, because I feel like you could do one and then you do the other. It's sort of like a process, and these are free things that you can use. It's on the web. You can easily save it to whatever computer you're using and send it to wherever you want. Just a really easy way. And once again, I'll leave it in the link in the description down below. Okay, so this is the third image I have here. It is of this stump. I'll put it on screen also, but it is really cool. I just am doing the Pixlr E version of it, and I'll display all the 3 pictures pretty soon, and I'll show you a transformation of what it looks like from the first image, the raw file, and then to the edited version from Pixlr E and the Pixlr X. Alright, so I just wanted to display my work here. So this is the raw photo of my dog that I took, and then I'm going to be cropping it in with the edited version. As you can see, in this version it doesn't look as clean, and now in this edited version it looks a lot better. The colors are a little bit sharper, and I tried to make the colors of his fur pop out a little bit more. It is brighter and a little bit more saturated. So now here is the tree stump that I want to edit, and as you can see it looks already good by itself, but I feel like it could have been a little bit brighter because the bottom was a little bit dark. Now here it is. It's slightly brighter, and the grass is a little bit more green, and it does add a very vibrant effect, sort of in the pattern of my dog and how it looked before. And lastly, here are the dice stacked up on each other. So this is the original photo, and it looks very dark, and like I said before, I did want to brighten it up a little bit, so this is what it looks like right now, and it is very bright, and I did crop it in a little bit, so there's a little bit more space on the left, and it is brighter. So that's what it looks like, and I think it looks great. Alrighty, so it is currently day 6 of learning photography, and there's something that I've wanted to do with this, like kind of a goal. So I get my phone and you throw it up, makes it look like it's sort of floating, so I'm going to be doing that. The way I need to do it is increasing the shutter speed, so cranking it all the way up, maybe increasing the ISO, just playing around with the settings like that. So I'll just throw it up in one hand to make it look like it's floating, and then I'll edit it afterwards. So that's my goal for today, and then tomorrow I'm just going to be showcasing all of the photos and probably posting it. I'll see if I can do that. Tomorrow it will just be final day of everything, and I feel like this challenge is pretty successful. I did learn a lot of things: white balance, ISO, aperture, shutter speed, and a lot more lighting and all that. That's pretty much what I learned, and now we're gonna try to do this photography trick. Alright, so the first thing I have to do to make this photo is to first of all find a good background where I can do it. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe I'll do it in the corner over here of my desk because I can clear that out pretty easily and the background's okay. Or I'm thinking over here with this rock because the glow makes a really cool effect, but you guys are going to see that right now. Okay guys, so I think we might have found our shot right there. As you can see, it took such a long time to get this. This is actually on my bed. It actually looks okay. I'll put the image on screen right now because it's hard to see through the camera on here. Now I'm going to be editing this photo. It took way longer than it should have. So these are all the pictures that I had to take for that. I did it in like burst mode. Did the Kelvin color to 4500. That's why it looks a little cool. I might saturate it a little bit more. All of these photos are of it. I'm gonna have to delete it later, but I'm just showing you what I have so far. Now I'm gonna edit the photo, and the actual good one is right here. Okay, so I finished editing the photo. It looks pretty good right now. I'll put it on screen also, and I might post this tomorrow. So far, this is what it is. This is all of day 6. I created the photo that I really wanted to do, and it turned out really, really good in my opinion. Thank you so much for watching so far, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Alright, so today is day 7, and technically I call it posting day, and I was going to go outside before to shoot some photos or something because it is pretty nice out. Oh, my battery's gonna die. Let me change that real quick. Alright, my battery's changed. It's much better. My battery is changed. It's much better. I'm sorry that I look a little bit orange right now. It's oversaturated. I'm just in a bright light like right over there. But yeah, basically what I was saying, I don't feel like going outside right now. It is pretty dark out. Can't really tell too much. I don't think I can get any other good shots, but today's posting day, and I'm going to just be posting things from my phone onto Instagram, and then you guys can see it. If you don't already know my Instagram, my photography account is @ChanMaxwell_. I'll put it on screen right now. So the top 3 pictures that I chose are the piece of the wood, my dog, and me holding on my phone like that. Obviously that one was the best one that I had. I put the photos in my Google Drive in a folder, and then what I'm going to do is download it and then upload it to Instagram and then post it on there. I mean, anybody can learn this honestly. And once again, like I said, I'll have links in the description down below for all the resources that I used in one Google document. Let's get on to posting. Alright, so I turned the Kelvin down a little bit on here so it shouldn't look as saturated. These are the 3 photos I have. So downloading it, you just press that, and then you press download. This one, download, this one, download. So the bad thing about it is Instagram kind of crops your images in. See how it looks? Yeah, they all look pretty fine. So I'll have my phone in the first one because that's obviously the best one that I have. Okay, so right here, this is what the caption says. Over the past week, I've learned so much about photography, like the basics such as shutter speed, aperture, ISO, white balance, and more. These pictures are the ones I'm most proud of using these techniques, and this is shot on a Canon M50. Then I use 3 tags here, and let's post it. There we go, finishing up, and there we go, it is posted. Finally got to post my pictures and show off my work. So that footage right there got corrupted. So this is currently editor max right now, and I just want to talk about everything that I learned in general because that clip was supposed to explain it all. Essentially what I learned was about ISO, aperture, shutter speed, white balance, all of those things. ISO is essentially cranking up as much as you want. Also have a lot of noise in the background, some digital noise as they call it, and essentially that is bad and it adds a lot of grain. It cranks up and opens up the whole entire shutter, making your image brighter. So you want to keep your ISO as low as possible. In terms of shutter speed is basically how fast the camera opens and closes. So in terms of like a 1/200th of a second, for example, the higher you crank it up, the less blurry it'll be when you take an action shot of like maybe somebody running or somebody doing something in action. The more you crank it up, the more they'll be in focus. And then for aperture, I normally like to keep it at the highest aperture, so 3.5 that I have on my lens at least, and basically that allows a shallower depth of field. F-stop, oh, that's what it's called, is 3.5. Yeah, and for white balance, we use it in metrics of kelvins, so the higher it is, the more warmer it'll look, and the lower it is, the cooler it'll look. So that's essentially what it is. That's what I learned. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and overall, I encourage you guys as the viewer to go out and shoot some photography. Be sure to take action and do this, because during this quarantine time, it is especially important that we actually do things that are out of our comfort zone and we don't normally necessarily think we can do. So that's what I learned this week. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe, join my newsletter, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.